Hey guys, my name is Ethan, and I wanted to bring you guys a quick comparison between the Amazon Kindle Paperwhite and the iPad mini with Retina display, or the iPad mini 2. So, I've really gotten into reading ebooks lately, and so I wanted to invest in the Amazon Kindle ecosystem. And so, I finally took the plunge and bought a Kindle, and I also have the Kindle app on the iPad. So, over here, there's the Kindle Paperwhite. And you can notice when I turn off the display and put it into sleep, I have special offers enabled so that I can basically save $20 when I buy the Kindle. And in exchange, it'll post an ad that doesn't take up any energy because it's an e-ink display when it's off. So that's a pretty nice little thing, but I'm also going to post a video soon about how you can take this off once you've already bought a Kindle with special offers. So stay tuned for that. For now, we're just going to turn it back on and you'll see the display lights up and we'll swipe over to unlock it, just like the iPad. So I'm going to first talk about form factor on these two devices. The Kindle and the iPad. The iPad is a very good tablet for reading. It's nice and light, and you can hold it in one hand like I'm doing right now very easily. But the Kindle is just so much better. It has bigger bezels, which is actually nice because you can put your thumb there. And it's lighter than the iPad. It's smaller, so it has a 6-inch display as opposed to the 7.9-inch display on the iPad mini. The iPad mini is actually just slightly thinner, but you can't really notice that obviously if you're like I am holding them both together. The iPad obviously has a lightning connector, some volume switches, a mute switch, power button, headphone jack, all that kind of stuff. But the Kindle only has a power or sleep wake button, a little LED indicator to let you know when it's done charging, and then a charging port. That's it on the whole device. So that's actually really nice. I like the simplicity of the design. I also would like to talk about the displays on these two devices. So the Kindle Paperwhite has a PPI density of 212, so 212 pixels per inch. The iPad mini with Retina display, though, has 326 pixels per inch. So this has a higher pixel density. And also you'll notice that the iPad has a color display, obviously, and while the Kindle Paperwhite has a black and white display, which can display many different shades of gray, so that's really nice. But I've never had a problem personally with the color in books. So if you have a problem with that, you might want to go with an iPad, if you want color in your books. But I've just never found a book that made use of color. So, other than the covers. And one great thing about e-ink displays is in any light conditions, you can read it without any reflectivity. It has a very matte finish on it. And while the iPad has a very glossy finish on the screen, and it reflects a lot of light. So it's really bad for the outdoors, the iPad, while the Kindle Paperwhite is really good for reading outdoors. And the e-ink display with a backlight, which this has, actually eases your eyes. So it reduces eye strain when you're reading at night, or really in any conditions. So if you're concerned about, eye strain reading at night, if you read at night a lot, you want to go for the Kindle. We're also going to talk about here, I just want to show you a quick comparison between the text. So you can look at the crispness of the text. So on the Kindle Paperwhite, it has, as I said, 212 pixels per inch, and so you're going to get really crisp words and text out of your display, and you're not going to see any pixels of any kind on the display unless you look extremely closely, but you just never will. The iPad mini, you won't be able to see pixels even if you look close because it has 326 pixels per inch. It's a really high pixels per inch rating. And the Kindle Voyage, if you choose to spend $200 for a Kindle, then you can go for that, and that has a much higher pixels per inch rating as well. But on these two devices, the text looks very good, I can assure you. We're going to look at the menus on these two devices. So on here, when you tap the top, you can press home, and there's your menu. So it gives you your the books that you have in your menu, and you can sort them by collections. And to make if you have thousands of books, then you can easily find the book you're looking for. Both of these devices can hold thousands of books in them, and the Kindle Paperwhite especially touts that. The Kindle, though, also has an 8-week battery life, while the iPad would be fortunate to last a day. So that's really impressive for battery life. We're also going to talk about the feel. So the Kindle has a matte finish on it, and in the back is like a rubbery feel, and it's really nice. It's really nice to hold, but I use it with a case. Over here I have the Finty case, and it's a really, really nice case. It's only $14, and I definitely suggest that you get this over the Amazon leather cover. Just much better, and it's very nice, and it has a nice leather feel. So yeah, go for that case, but this has a really nice feel on the back, so you might not need it. While the iPad, it has sharp edges, so it kind of digs into my hand when I'm holding it, and the back is really slippery because it's of an aluminum design. While it feels extremely premium, it has glass and aluminum on the back, so you're not going to get a good grip out of this as opposed to the Kindle. But one thing I will mention is the iPad does have a headphone jack, while the Kindle does not. So if you want to listen to ebooks on Audible, then you really would have to go for the iPad, as that option is just not available to this. So let's take a quick look at the Kindle Store on these devices. So in here, there's a quick shortcut that brings you to it, and there you go. And this is connected to Wi-Fi. I don't have the 3G model. And you can just search for a book that you want right there, and I have a recent search, so there we go. While on the iPad, we can just go into a little button up here, Amazon, and it'll bring you to the same thing. But one thing I will show you is with these devices, one difference you can notice is on the iPad it says try sample or add to wish list. While on the Kindle, if you look up the same book, it says buy. Then it says redeem a code, try sample, or add to wish list. So one great thing about Kindle and ebooks in general is you can buy them straight off for cheaper than the print price. It says print list price $15, Kindle price $9. You save $5.50. So on the Kindle, you can buy the book straight from your Kindle. While on the iPad, you have to go to Amazon's website, buy it on there, the Kindle version, and then have it sent to your iPad. So I definitely find it an advantage to be able to buy your book straight from your device. And while you can do it on both, it's much easier on the Kindle. And on the store on the Kindle, it also gives you suggestions, recommendations on books that based on what you've been reading. So I've been reading a lot of Agatha Christie lately, so it's suggesting Agatha Christie. And let's also take a look at how they both read, which is really the important thing. We already talked about the text and how crisp the text is on both of them. But on top, over here, we have X-ray. We have bookmarks, we can share a page, or we have fonts. So on both devices, you can see we have our fonts. And I will say the iPad has a few more fonts than the Kindle does, and I think that has to do with publishers, what they make available for their books, and just iPad has more fonts available. But they both allow you to adjust line spacing, margins. You can change the font and the font size, so that's very useful. And really, the refresh rate on both of these, when you change the pages, I can't really tell a difference between the two. You can see that it's pretty much instant with the Kindle, and the iPad's almost the same. It gives you a little bit of a turning the page feature, but you can see this just fades out, and I really like that. It really doesn't hinder you in any way. It just looks really nice. So I will say, though, to have bookmarks on the iPad is much easier. Just an extra little step for the Kindle. One other thing I'm going to talk about is the Oh, actually, I think that about wraps it up, guys. If you want an interesting feature, I will show you guys real quick, is we have an experimental browser on the Kindle. And if you want to browse the web, say on on any device, you're going to want to get the iPad because that's just much better for browsing the web. The Kindle is much slower and it takes a little while, but you can see it's experimental for a reason, but there you go. You have Google right there. So I think that's really cool that Amazon included that feature in it. And so guys, whichever one you decide to get, they're both really good for reading, but the Kindle is made exclusively for reading. It can hold thousands of books. You have Goodread and your Amazon store and all that built right into it, and it eases your eyes when you're reading at night. So, of these two devices, if you just want to read, go for the Kindle, obviously. If you want a computer that can also read, go for the iPad. It's a no-brainer. So, thank you guys for watching, and like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it. Leave a comment and about what you would like me to make videos on that maybe YouTubers don't talk too much about. And if you like my channel, subscribe. I'll have more content up soon. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.